So are you also still generating subtitles and transcriptions manually for your YouTube channel videos? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to use AI agents for automated YouTube transcriptions and subtitle generation. So over here, like you, I also used to generate these subtitles and the transcriptions manually for my YouTube channel. But this is such a time-consuming task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as a new video is published in my YouTube account, automatically with the help of Happy Subscribe, we are going to generate the transcription of the same, and further we can add that into a Google Drive account. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between YouTube, Happy Subscribe and then Google Drive. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own YouTube channel, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to use AI agent to automatically transcribe your YouTube videos and generate accurate subtitles. This setup pulls your video content, processes it, and with the help of Happy Scribes, it generates editable transcriptions and subtitles, boosting accessibility, SEO, and viewer retention. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So for this video, I've already generated the subtitles and the transcription right over here. You can check it out. And yes, we are going to learn how I did this. And to do this, I simply opened the landing page of Pabbly Connect. So to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we are going to open a new tab and search for pabbly.com/connect in our browser. So I'm simply going to search for pabbly.com/connect in our browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, over here we have two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So now I'm just going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this: how to use AI agent for automated YouTube transcription and subtitle generation. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as YouTube because what I want is that as soon as I publish a new video on my YouTube account, automatically this workflow should get triggered. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new video in a channel with video URL. And now we are simply going to click on this button which says connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your YouTube account with your Pabbly Connect workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says connect with YouTube. And once we are going to click on this blue button, over here Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my YouTube account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right from here, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my YouTube account. And now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions, so I'm simply going to click on this continue and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for. secure because my data is secure with Pabbly. And now it is asking me to select the channel ID. So I'm simply going to select the channel ID right over here, which is a demo channel. So over here to test this automation, I'm using a demo channel. Over here, you have to select your own channel, all right? And after doing this, we are simply going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that YouTube is a polling based application. So polling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take certain amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of YouTube, it is saying the trigger will check for new data in 10 minutes. So once we're going to click on this save and send test request, it is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my YouTube account. So what we're going to do is first we're going to do the test submission, and then only we are going to click on this save and send test request. And in order to do the test submission, I'm just going to open my YouTube, and over here I'm just going to add a video. So I'm just going to go towards this upload video right over here, and we're going to upload a video right over here. And to upload the video, I'm just going to select the file. Alright, so I'm simply going to select my file. So I'm just going to go towards this select file option, and from here we are going to select my file. So I'm just going to look for my file right over here and select it, which is this. So I'm simply going to select this file, and once we're going to select this file, over here you can see it is how to use an AI agent to automatically generate LinkedIn post, and over here it is uploading the videos. So we're just going to wait for a few seconds till the video uploading is getting completed. And as you can see, the upload has been completed. And now what we're going to do is, if you wish, you can definitely add a description, but I don't wish to do so. So I'm simply going to go towards this next, once again next, and once again we're going to go towards this visibility. And over here for the visibility, I'm just going to keep it as public only right over here. And now we are simply going to click on this button which says publish. And once we're going to click on this publish, yes, you can see that it is publishing my video. So now we're going to wait for a few seconds till this video is getting published, all right? And as you can see, the video has been uploaded right over here. And after this video has been uploaded, I'm just going to go back towards my workflow, and now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request so that Pabbly can capture the response of the test submission which we made. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of the same. Over here you can see the same video URL, and over here you can see the same title of the video which we submitted in our test submission. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this trigger step. And now what is going to happen is that whenever a new video is posted on my YouTube channel, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered within 10 minutes. And if you want to increase or decrease this trigger time, you can go towards this three dots, set trigger time, and from here you can increase or decrease the trigger time. I'm just going to keep it as 10 minutes only. Now we're going to move on further. Now what I want is, I want to generate the YouTube transcription of this video, right? So I'm just going to go towards this action, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Happy Scribe. So I'm just going to search for Happy Scribe and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as Create Transcription. And now we are simply going to click on this Connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Happy Scribe account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the API key and the organization ID. And to get both of this, I'm just going to open my Happy Scribe account. And after opening a Happy Scribe account, what we have to do is we have to go towards the left side of the bar towards that email address. And once we're going to click on this, over here you can see the button of personal settings. So we have to go towards this personal settings and then towards this API. And over here you can see that this is the API key. So I'm just going to copy this API key and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. But over here you can see the help text, it has clearly mentioned that we have to use this bearer as a prefix. So I'm just going to copy it right from here, and we're going to paste the prefix right over here. And after doing this, we're going to move on further and enter this organization ID. And to enter this organization ID, once again I'm just going to open my Happy Scribe account, and over here you can see you're going to get the organization ID right over here. So you can simply copy this organization ID right from here and paste it right over here in your workflow. And after pasting both of this, we can simply click on this blue button which says save. And once we're going to click on this save, with this we have successfully connected our Happy Scribe account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the transcription name. So over here I'm just going to give the transcription name, but we are not going to enter the name manually by typing it like this, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected YouTube as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we are going to map these details, details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to give the transcription name right over here, and then we're going to move on further. Now it is asking me to select the language. So to enter the language of the speaker, we have to view the full list here. So I'm just going to simply click on the hyperlink given under this here, and over here you can see all the languages in which you can generate the transcription. But over here I'm just going to use it as English India. So I'm just going to copy the code for the same right from here, and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. So I'm just going to keep this information as static. That is the reason that I have simply entered it manually. Now we're going to move on further. It is asking me for the media URL, so I want this to be dynamic, so I'm just going to map the video URL right over here. Now we're going to move on further. It is asking me for the workspace name. So as you can see, the name of my workspace over here is my workspace. So I'm just going to enter the same right over here, which is my workspace. And after entering this, we're going to move on further. Over here I'm just going to select is subtitle as true, and after doing this I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And once we're going to click on this save and send test request, as you can see that we have received the positive response. But over here for the state, we have received it as initial. So what is going to happen is it is going to take few minutes to generate the transcription of this video URL. So we just have to wait for 2 minutes for this. All right, I'm just going to wait for 2 minutes, but in real time how are we going to wait for minutes? Because over here I'm just going to add multiple action steps downwards, right? So to wait for some time, I'm just going to add a delay in this workflow. So for that I'm just going to add another action step right over here, and then for the action application we are simply going to select it as a feature by Pabbly, which is delay. So I'm just going to look for delay by Pabbly. It is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to add delay in your workflow. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as add time delay and click on this connect. And now it is saying how much time do you want to put in your workflow. So I'm just going to select it as delay for. If you wish, you can definitely select it as until or after Q2, but I'm just going to keep it as delay for. And now it is saying delay unit, so I'm just going to keep it as minutes. So I'm just going to, let's say, delay this flow for 3 minutes. So I'm just going to enter this delay for 3 minutes, and I'm just going to simply click on this save and send test request. And with this we have received the positive response that this flow is delayed for 3 minutes. And after adding this delay, what we're going to do is I'm just going to extract the file of this transcription. For that I'm just going to go towards this action, and once again for the action application I'm simply going to select it as happy scribe. And after doing this I'm just going to select the action event as create export and click on this connect. So I've recently connected my happy scribe account, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And once we're going to click on this save, it is asking me to select the format. Over here I'm just going to keep the format as PDF. You can select it as text or doc too. I'm just going to keep it as PDF, and now it is asking me to select the transcription. So over here you can see that it is asking me to select it manually, but over here we are not going to select it manually because I'm just going to map it, and I want this remain to dynamic. So I'm just going to switch on this mapping button, and over here we're going to map this ID from the response of our happy scribe right over here ID. So I'm simply going to map it right over here. So it is really important to map it. And now it is asking me to show the timestamp, so I'm just going to keep it as true. If you wish, you can definitely keep it as false. Over here it is only going to work in the case of PDF, text and doc format. So you also have to follow the notes too, right? And now it is asking me to show the speakers, so I'm just going to keep it as false. It is saying show comments, I'm just going to keep it as false. It is saying show highlights, I'm just going to keep it as false. You can keep it according to your choice. And once you're going to do all of this, you are simply going to click on this save and send test request. And once we're going to click on this save and send test request, with this we have successfully received a positive response. And now what we're going to do is I'm simply going to retrieve the transcription. For that I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And now for the action application, once again we are going to select it as happy scribe. And after selecting this for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as retrieve and export, because we have created export, all right. And now I'm just going to retrieve this export, and then we're going to add it in a Google Drive account. For that I'm just going to go towards this retrieve and export and click on this connect. Once again I have already connected my happy scribe account, so I'm just going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And once we're going to click on this save, with this we have successfully connected our happy scribe account. And now it's asking me for the export ID. So over here we have received the export ID in the response of our previous step. So I'm simply going to map it and click on this save and send test request. And yes, now you can see that we have received the positive response, which is the download link. So I'm just going to copy this link first and we're going to open it in a new tab and check that it is correct or not. So I'm just going to open it in a new tab right over here. And yes, you can see that this has been downloaded. So I'm just going to open it. And yes, you can see that the transcription of the video which I posted has been added right over here. That too without any manual intervention. So yes, you can see now what we're going to do is I'm just going to add this same transcription in my Google Drive. For that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive and select it right over here. And now for the action event, we are simply going to select it as upload a file. So I'm just going to look for upload a file and select it. And now you're simply going to click on this blue button which says connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Drive account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. Alright, so now I'm just going to click on this blue button which is sign in with Google, and now it is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my Google Drive. And once we're going to select the Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this continue and once again give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And now it is asking me for the URL, the folder ID and the file name. And now over here for the URL, I'm simply going to map the URL which we received from the response of our previous step, which is the download link. Now we're going to move on further. It is asking me for the folder ID. And to get this folder ID, what we're going to do is I'm just going to open my Google Drive account. And over here you can see that this is the folder and this is the URL which we have right over here. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to copy this whole URL and paste it right over here in this folder ID section. But as you can see in the response, it is clearly mentioning that the folder ID is after this folders. So what we're going to do is we are going to erase everything which is before this ID. Alright, so I'm simply going to erase all of this and we have received our folder ID right over here. Now we're going to move on further. For the file name, I'm simply going to map it. So I'm just going to look for the file name which is the title. So I'm simply going to map it. And after doing all of this, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And once we're going to click on this save and send test request, automatically you can see that we have received the positive response, and this download link, which is the transcription which we generated using a happy scribe, has been added into our Google Drive account. So I'm just going to open my Google Drive, and as you can see that it has been successfully added right over here, that too without any manual intervention. So yes, this is the amazing automation which we created right now. And now what is going to happen is that whenever a new video is published in my YouTube account, automatically within 10 minutes this workflow is going to get triggered. Happy Scribe is going to generate the transcription. Further, it is going to create the export for the same. We are going to retrieve and export that file, and we're going to add that file into our Google Drive account. All of this is going to happen in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. Automatically, as soon as we're going to publish a new video on our YouTube account, within 10 minutes the transcription will be generated and added into our Google Drive account, that too without any manual intervention. So you also go and try this amazing automation for your own business, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, everyone.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.